Hey, thanks for tuning in. And today I'd like to talk to you about another headset. A gaming headset, actually. And it's these right here. This is the Attack Shark. Let me get you the logo right. L80 wireless gaming headset. Okay. What you get in the box? The first thing you're going to get is one of these cables. It's a USB Type-C on one end, 3.5 millimeter on the other, which, if you could tell, it has the 3 black rings right there. That's a TRRS type connector. You also get another cable. It's USB Type-C to USB Type-A. That's how you charge the headphones. You get this. It's a microphone that unplugs, it detaches. You also get a nice little instruction manual. Multiple different languages in there. They all come in a nice little bag like that, by the way. The last thing you get is this little dongle that has the Attack Shark branding there. It is USB Type A, but this little part here comes off, and you got a USB Type C port or connection on there. Now what that does is you can actually plug this into, say, your PC that has a USB Type A, and it'll connect to these. If you're going to use it on your phone or a tablet or something of that nature, or if you say your computer or laptop doesn't have USB Type A connections, you can use the USB Type C connection. All in one little go. No, you do not have to disconnect this. Actually, you could just leave this in here if you're going to use it with the USB Type A. Okay. These are the headphones themselves, which I already showed you. Now, the adjustment is only right in here. This part here. It flexes. It doesn't move side to side. It flexes. Okay. But you can slide these up and down. There's a nice little tiny little bit of cushioning up here with a fabric covering. Same thing with the ear cups. It's a fabric covering, none of that fake leather stuff, or pleather, if you will. There's your charging port. One of these is your charging light. And there is all of your connections, your play, pause, your power on, your power off. Button and everything else like that. I tried turning it on. I think I hit the wrong button. But that's how that thing works, okay? Now, they work, there's three ways really to connect these headphones to your device. The 2.5 gigahertz connection, which both of these are, this one and the USB Type-C is both 2.5 gigahertz. It does have Bluetooth connection, 5.2, and you can use this wired. The USB Type-C goes into the port, and then the 3.5 millimeter plug, or 1/8 of an inch plug, will go into whatever device that you're going to plug it into. The microphone, by the way, will go into that hole right there. So you just simply take it, push it in, and away you go. And it is a gooseneck style, so it's bendy, or bendable, so you can bend it anywhere. Just make sure this part here, it's a little flat. If you can see on one side it's flat, is actually pointing towards your mouth, okay? It is a noise canceling microphone, and yes, I'm going to be kind of testing that for you. These were designed for the PS4 and 5, and it's compatible with PC, phones, and iPads. And yes, you are going to see that in a demonstration. Now, you can get up to 50 hours of playtime with the volume of these at 50%. It takes about 3 hours to charge it, but that depends upon how low the battery really is. They use 40 millimeter neodymium drivers or speakers inside of these headphones. The frequency response is 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz, and the sampling rate is 48 kilohertz. Okay, so now that's pretty much, let me show you the box a little bit too, because they really don't give you a whole lot of information on the outside of the box. You'll find a lot more information inside here. But that's pretty much, it for all the specs that I was able to get. So I'm going to do my normal thing. I got a whole bunch of pictures and stuff like that I'm going to put on there. Then I'm going to give you a test video. And then I'll come back and give you my final thoughts on these. The Attack Shark L80 wireless gaming headset. I'll be right back. Okay, right now what you're hearing is audio coming from the microphones of my iPad 9th generation. And the reason why I'm doing that is I got this TV and another TV on right now playing videos of fireworks. We do it every day here. And the reason why, like I said, I'm doing this is so you can hear all the stuff in the background that's going on. And this way, since this is supposed to be a noise canceling microphone, I'm going to leave all that on, and we're going to see how well or how bad this microphone really does work for noise canceling. I'll be right back. Okay, now what you are hearing is audio coming from the microphone of the Attack Shark L80 wireless gaming headset. And to prove it to you, hopefully that wasn't too annoying. And yes, I'm still using the iPad 9th generation for this demonstration. I still have the TVs going on, like that one right there, playing videos of fireworks in the background. And I'm going to stay quiet for a few seconds to see if this microphone is picking it up or is it rejecting a lot of that background noise. And it figures right now the video stopped playing. Okay. There we go. There's another video of fireworks going on. Okay, that should have been long enough. So next coming up is an audio test on my Pixel 7a. I shall be right back. Okay, so right now you're hearing audio from the microphone of the L80 being recorded by my Pixel 7a. I still got all the TVs like that one there playing videos of fireworks. Once again, to see how well or how bad the noise canceling function of this microphone truly works. So I'm going to stay quiet for a few seconds and let's see what happens. Okay, that's pretty much it for the test of the L80 microphone using the Pixel 7a. Oh, and just to prove it is the microphone, yeah, I know, that's annoying. Okay, now, I know in the other two test videos, I had a lot of noise going on in the background to see how well this microphone works as a noise canceling microphone. And some of you are probably going to mention something like, well, you didn't do an example of nothing going on. It's quiet everywhere. Let's see if the microphone has any form of self noise, meaning that the microphone might be creating its own noise. So this is it on the iPad 9th generation. I will not be doing this example on my phone. I'm just going to do it here on the iPad. That should be good enough. So I'm going to stay quiet for a few seconds. Okay, that should have been a good enough test to see if there was any self noise coming from this microphone. Yes, you can maneuver it any way you want, like this, and it'll work. And to prove to you again that it's me, that the audio is coming from this microphone, there you go. So now we're going to get back to the rest of my review and my final thoughts. All right. So what do I think of the Attack Shark L80 gaming headset? Well, I like them for the most part. The plastic that they used is an ABS plastic in it. Some people will say it feels cheap. To be honest, it feels more like the material they use in a pretty good, decent mouse, gaming mouse. That's the type of plastic. Of course, this has been designed for and built for a price point. So yeah, you know, the quality of them may not be as good as like a $300-400 gaming headset, but they get the job done. And because they use mainly plastic in them, they are very lightweight. So the cushioning, especially on the headband, that's why there isn't so much, because it's very lightweight. You really don't even notice that they're on. It does muffle a lot of the sound, a pretty good amount of the sound when you're just wearing them. I imagine since this is a fabric around the ear cups that there will be audio leakage, meaning like somebody walking by may hear what's going on. But that also depends upon the volume. If you got these things cranked up all the way, yeah, everybody's going to hear what's going on, okay? The microphone is really good. I kind of enjoyed it. I think it's a pretty decent microphone. You heard it in the test video. So let's get to the audio. Now, with the bass or the low end, it's there, first of all. But it's not really prevalent. So if you're a bass head and you like a lot of bass in your headphones, this isn't going to be for you. There's a tiny little bit of a thump with the bass. Okay, there's a lot that goes into that, meaning like what type of device you got, you know, the EQ you might have, things of that nature. But there is a decent amount. If you're not going to mess with any form of sound settings like EQ and stuff, there's going to be a little bit of bass here. Does have a tiny bit of a thump to it. It's not muddy whatsoever. The mid-range is what I think they tuned these headphones with, meaning that the mid-range is really prevalent in these headphones. It stands out above the low end and the high end. So I think that's where they tuned it, is for the mid-range. The mid-range is nice and clear and very punchy. The high end, in a way, is slightly subdued. And what do I mean by that is, like, if you're listening to some music and they're hitting those really good high notes, it's not going to make your ears ring or make your ears hurt. It's not shrilly or tinny. It's crystal clear high end in this stuff, in these headphones. Basically, my first couple of impressions, because the first thing I did was listen to music, all sorts of stuff. I like jazz, blues, of course, heavy metal. I love classical music. So I went through a whole gamut of music to listen to these. And the first couple impressions I got was these headphones it sounds like they were tuning them to be more like a studio monitoring headphone, which means it has a nice flat response. So if you wanted to tune in some more bass, you're going to have to go into your EQ or whatever and add a little bit more bass or a little bit more high end or treble or mid range, you're going to have to adjust it on whatever device. That's kind of like what these reminded me of, a flat response type headphone or studio monitoring headphone. That's what these kind of reminded me of. And then, after listening to music, watching some podcasts and YouTube videos and going through some movies and everything, I started noticing, like I said earlier, that these had that nice flat response, but with more of a mid-range bump to them. So it has a little bit more mid-range than a flat response or studio monitoring headphones will have. Has a little bit more of the mid-range into it. The audio, regardless, I did not complain about the audio reproduction of these headphones. Whether I was listening to music, watching videos, or playing games, they were very pleasant. Everything was accurate, if you will. I heard everything. Like I said, yeah, I do wish the bass was slightly deeper in the headphones to give me a little bit more of a thump than what these deliver. But I understand, once again, it is a price point that they built these to. Okay. So would I recommend you get the Attack Shark L80? Yes, I would. But there's a caveat, or caveat, however you pronounce that word. I would use them maybe like for the kiddies or something. If you don't have a whole lot of money and your kids want a headphone, or you want some good, decent headphones for a really good price, yeah, these are good. But you got to keep in mind that this is a budget set of headphones. So chances are, longevity, they won't last as long as, anywhere from $100 to $300, $400 set of headphones is going to last. So please keep that in mind, that this is built on a budget. So they probably, if you get a good 2 years out of them, I think that's good, a good amount of runtime for the price that you're going to pay for these. It would be an excellent set of backup headphones, that's for sure. So like if your good ones die on you and you're waiting for the new set to come in, pull these up. Like I said, great for the kids, cheap and expensive, because let's face it, kids might destroy these things, because they take them, they throw them, and they whatever. So yeah, you're not going to spend a whole lot of money for your kids to give them a good gaming headset. There you go. It's all around a really good, for the price, the L80s are a really, really good choice. I like it. I like them. I think the audio reproduction is very, very good. Yes, I do wish they had a little bit more bass in here. But once again, I considered the price, and I know that these were built for the price point. So I understand that. Yeah, I still think the Attack Shark L80 gaming headset is definitely worth every penny. And if you happen to like this video, please give it that thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to my channel and don't forget about that notification bell. It would really help me out a lot if you were to share this video, maybe a few more of my others, on all of your social media. And until the next video, you, your friends, your family, and yes, even all of your pets, you all have a great day. I'll see you in the next video.